This is a study that examined Brazilian and Nigerian international students' conceptions of learning. By way of introduction, conceptions of learning are coherent systems of knowledge and beliefs about learning or phenomena related to learning. And they are important because they provide insight into how students approach learning. They influence how students interact with courses, their classroom environment, their teachers, and peers. They guide primary beliefs about and interpretations of learning. And most importantly, they've been found to predict academic achievement. Research on conceptions of learning have focused mainly on the West and the East, represented largely by countries from Asia. And as a result, some geographical locations such as South America and Africa have not received the same attention. Based on this, the purpose of this study was to investigate Brazilian and Nigerian international undergraduate students' conceptions of learning while enrolled in a university in the United States. Specifically, research questions that this study addressed are: what are Brazilian and Nigerian students' conceptions of learning? Are there any differences and/or similarities between their conceptions of learning and their learning experiences in the United States? And finally, are there differences and/or similarities between the two groups in their conceptions of learning? This study was based on qualitative research using grounded theory, which is good for exploring social phenomena, especially in instances where the issue has received little or no attention. In order to ensure or increase trustworthiness, established methods were used. Triangulation was used as well. And to ensure honesty, participants were aware that their participation was voluntary. Additionally, iterative questioning was used as well. Participants consisted of 6 Brazilian students and 7 Nigerian students who were purposefully sampled because of their country of origin. Data collection happened in 3 stages: an initial interview where students talked about their beliefs about learning, and then a 1-week period where they kept reflective diaries in which they recorded their learning experiences during the week, and then a final interview that allowed for issues that had come up in the reflective diaries and the initial interviews to be clarified. Data analysis was done using grounded theory and the constant comparison method. Findings indicate that most students, 9 out of 13, wrote more about non-school related learning experiences than they did school-related learning experiences in their diaries. And this is an indication that participants in this study recognize that learning happens outside of school as well. The main finding was that 5 categories of conceptions of learning emerged: learning as a new or increase in knowledge, learning as acquisition of knowledge for practical application, learning as memorization, reproducing, and studying, learning as understanding, and lastly, learning as a process not bound by context or time. With regards to research question 2, findings indicate that participants reported mostly differences between their conceptions of learning and their learning experiences, mainly in the role of the student, the role of the teacher, competition versus collaboration, and hands-on learning experience. Diversity was the one instance in which they reported similarities between their conceptions of learning and their learning experiences. Finally, in reference to research question number 3, similar conceptions were reported by both groups. By way of conclusion, it is important to note that participants in this study were found to have what can be clarified as a hybrid conception of learning, meaning that their conceptions of learning seem to be in transition. There seems to be elements of both East and West, and so they still hold conceptions of learning that they brought from their countries of origin, but they are being influenced by their learning experiences here in the United States. It's also important to note that implicit in their views about conceptions of learning were ideas about what good teaching involves. And the 3 main themes that emerged from that was that good teaching involves detailed and clear instruction, using a variety of methods, and creating and maintaining students' interests. Diversity was the one instance in which students reported that there was a similarity between their conception of learning and their learning experiences in the United States. And thus, by way of conclusion, it's important for opportunities for interaction with diverse groups of students to be created. It's important for context for diverse points of view to be expressed in the classroom. And it's also important that programs and institutions be explicit about diversity as an institutional value.